Hey, 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 welcome to the Annabelization Podcast. Today we've got Dan Elwood, the man, the myth, the legend himself. Welcome, Dan.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy that you finally made it. We've been rescheduling for a while, but this time it's happening.
This time, obviously it is, yeah.
And let me tell you a bit about what I know about Dan so far. He's like the best harmonica player in all of Zürich, probably all of Switzerland, maybe all of Europe.
Croatia.
Yeah, exactly. And so I brought you here today because I have actually heard you play for the first time in my life about 3 years ago, I would say. Even 4 years, I think, when I first came to Switzerland. And you were playing at an open mic at McGee's a really long time ago. And then you came and you shredded that solo on your harmonica. And I was there with my brother. And we watched you in awe, and my brother said, "Man, look at that guy go." And I said, "I know." So that's when I started admiring you 4 years ago.
All right.
And today I get to ask you all the questions about how did you become this amazing blues sensation that you are, and where are you from? How did you start doing music? Tell us everything.
Well, okay. Well, first of all, I'm originally from Croatia, born and raised. I came to Switzerland in '98, and I actually come from a family kind of musical, with musical roots. My great grandfather founded the first violin school in Zagreb.
Wow.
And my grandmother was a piano teacher, also in Zagreb. And my parents actually are both kind of scientists. My father is a physicist, and my mother is a chemist. And I'm the only one in the family who was who had kind of a relation to music. So I had to listen to a lot of classical music when I was little. And then when I was 6 or 7 years old, about that age, my parents asked me if I want to play the piano. And I was like, yeah, sure, I want to play the piano. So I started playing the piano. And at the school in Zagreb, at the musical school in Zagreb, they were the teachers were fighting who's going to get me because my grandmother was there and my great grandfather was founded the whole thing. And then a teacher managed to get me because she was actually a student of my grandmother's.
Okay.
And then I started playing the piano, but soon they realized that I'm a pretty lazy boy. So I didn't practice a lot. And then I kind of got through those three years of piano before I moved to Switzerland. And yeah, my parents were like, now you started, now you got to pull through, And, but I didn't like it at all.
So how old were you when you moved to Switzerland?
I was 9 years old.
Oh, really young.
Yeah.
Okay.
9 or 10. And when I moved to Switzerland, my mother was like, okay, you know what, if you don't want to, she sent me to a private teacher who tried to motivate me with some weird stuff.
What do you mean?
I don't know. We were more doing different other things than playing the piano. We were I don't know, doing some, I don't know, just audio.
I see what you mean.
Noises. We were doing with different kind of instruments. We were doing noises, and and then after 1 or 2 years, my mother realized, okay, that doesn't make any sense. So she left me be, and then afterwards, it was in high school. Because we had to choose here in Switzerland, you have to choose between if you want to do painting or music. And my mom was like, "You're not." And painting is a lot easier. Nobody, you don't have to learn anything, no theory, no nothing.
Yeah, it's true.
And I wanted to do that actually, but my mom was like, no, 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 no. You with your great grandparents and with the whole, no chance you're doing that. So I had to do music. And then I was kind of in a metal phase at that moment. So I wanted to play the drum kit.
Okay.
And we didn't have a drum kit at home, but we had a guitar at home. So my mom was like, okay, you can start playing the drum kit, but you have to go practicing at the school where there is a drum set. But you're going to start a guitar at the same time because that one we have at home.
Exactly.
And then, of course, after half a year, I didn't go practice at all, for the drum kit at school. So the guitar was I was like left with the guitar, which
That's
I
how
had
you
to,
ended
yeah.
up doing it. Okay.
And then, like right about at the same time, the movie Ray Charles came out, like Ray, and I also seen the Blues Brothers, and that music was like really something changed in me when I saw that, and I realized I can play that on a guitar and I can sing along, and it was so much fun doing that.
And singing, did you just kind of learn naturally, or did you take singing classes?
I mean,
also?
I had like solfeggio when I was in Zagreb and everything, but I mean, it came out naturally. I never had like singing lessons like that. And basically, the Blues Brothers were like that thing that like kind of put the switch down, and I realized I kind of related to Elwood, and since my name is Dan, was natural. I'm Dan Elwood. So I like started doing that, and I started to play the harmonica because he plays the harmonica, and I taught myself like from the beginning, like just listening to tunes from I don't know Little Walter, all those old blues musicians, and just try to match them, try to play the same. Because there was no YouTube at the time, and you didn't have like instructional videos or stuff like that. So I just had to do it by myself, And that's like the beginning how it started. Afterwards, I founded my band, which we are playing still. Like that was 2007, I think. So almost 20 years ago. Yeah, that's basically.
Cool. Well, that's quite a good resume, good summary. And so I have never been to Zagreb. I don't know what it's like. I know that you were there recently on holiday, right? And also playing. Can you tell me a bit what the music culture is like in Zagreb? Did that influence you at all when you were growing up there as a kid?
It's I don't know. There's a lot of jazz going on, and it's pretty similar, let's say, as in Zürich, but musicians are a lot more versatile. There's a lot more like musicians who are really like graduated music, jazz music, and they're like playing at those bars and I'm playing at like in like 10 bands and trying to earn their living. But I think it's like from the size of the community or the size of the scene, it's pretty similar, like Zurich.
Okay.
Though I don't know anybody in Zurich who's like living off of like performing. All right, you're the first one.
Yeah,
but you're doing the podcast as well, so it's not just performing.
And this podcast, I'm like
you're
making so
doing,
much money
you're doing
with it.
Different stuff.
I have so many followers, and they're all like, Annabelle. No, so actually, I am living just with the performing, but it is extremely hard, and I'm looking for a job on the side because I can't do it anymore.
But that's what I mean. You can do it for a while, but you can't like live off of that.
No,
long term.
No, not long term.
That's what I meant.
But in Zagreb though, what about like the musical culture, like of the region of where it is? Isn't there influences?
There is a lot of Croatian music. Well, I mean, people listen. Let's say that's a big difference from Switzerland to Croatia. In Croatia, there is a lot of people who listen to Croatian music, which is in Croatian and played by Croatians. And in Switzerland, nobody listens to Swiss music. When everybody listens, yeah. I mean.
That's
like Swiss music in let's say there is Parent Oxner and a couple of bands like that, but it's pretty niche. It's not like widespread. And in Croatia, it's really widespread. So there is a big part of the music scene. It's like it's really Croatian music, like Croatian rock, Croatian punk, like Croatian pop, and there is not a lot of that in Switzerland.
But you really started doing music, not Croatian music, right? It was blues.
I actually never played Croatian music. I mean, I did it for myself a little bit. There is like one band, Psychomodo Pop, which I really like. They're like kind of a Ramones-y kind of thing. And they have like really cool lyrics and cool music. They still play, like they're like 30, 40 years old. It's like old guys now. Now they're all like 50 or 60. And they still perform regularly. And I like that band a lot, and I played a couple of tunes by them. But otherwise, I never like had a concert. I never performed anything for on stage.
Yeah.
In Croatian.
But so you're really a blues man.
Yeah, you could.
What is the thing that changed inside of you when you said you listened to it for the first time and it changed something inside of you?
Yeah, it did. I don't know. It's just that emotion. It's hard to put into words, actually.
You can try.
Just that raw emotion and the blue notes, which like really, I'm getting goosebumps off of that. You know, just like it something inside of you is just like boiling. It's just like something's happening, which you really can't describe.
Do you think you could try and express it in your harmonica for us?
Right now?
Yeah, right now. To make us feel what you felt that first time you listened to blues.
Okay, I can try. So I'm using this microphone, right?
Yeah. Well, whichever is better for you.
Sorry about the noise.
Yeah, I felt that. That was pretty good.
It's hard to,
It's hard to put into words.
And also the guitars and the singing and just, you feel the struggle of the black people who started that whole thing.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Okay. And so for you playing this kind of music, how did you connect with it? Like, did you connect your own struggles in your life to it?
Of course. That's the only way. That's the only way you can play the blues. Okay. So you just got to feel your... I still have that problem nowadays because I'm not able to... I think a lot of musicians feel the same way. I'm not able to write any songs if everything is perfect in my life and I feel great, and then there is nothing to write about.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't even have the urge to write something. It's like,
Yeah, it's true.
why would you do it? And so the whole thing is like living off of, or kind of like trying to work those bad feelings and process them, basically.
Yeah.
It's just the process of making that bad feelings into something good, actually.
Yeah.
Where people can enjoy it and feel good about it.
I mean, it's so impressive when you think about it, because if it's coming from such a place of hurt and struggle, and then they make the most, like, the music that makes you want to dance and get up and be so ecstatic. It's like the opposite, right?
It is.
It's quite incredible.
That's basically the paradox.
Yeah.
Of it all. Yeah.
Do you not feel like do you think it's like the music style that makes you really feel that the best?
Yeah, definitely. Because one part of my body is like crying at that moment, and the other part of my body is like really ecstatic. Like it's it's just, you get split in half, kind of.
Wow, you're making me want to do blues.
You should try it.
Because I don't have that when I'm singing. I don't feel split in half.
You should try it.
Yeah.
No, because you know what you're singing, and especially if they're my own songs. I mean, I know why I wrote them. I know where they come from, and what kind of feelings I had, or what I felt at the time I was writing the song.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, you have like music backing it up, which is like, yeah, people are happy.
Exactly. Hey, but speaking of your own songs, I would really love it if you could play one of your own songs.
Well, I wouldn't need a band for that. So like our newest album is going to come out, or EP actually, is going to come out in a couple of weeks. I was looking for labels a long time, and I didn't find any, so I'm going to publish it myself.
That's not a bad thing, though.
But no, but I did that with my single like 2 or 3 years ago, and it's just when you publish something nowadays, you put it like in this vast ocean of music.
I know, that's what I did.
Where nobody's ever going to find it.
Exactly.
So I wanted to try, maybe somebody's interested, just to get a little bit of traction from the start. But who cares?
But with my podcast, you're going to get so much traction.
Yeah, I'm sure of that.
It's going to like go on the number one charts. Okay, so basically you don't want to sing me an original. What if you took the guitar and you did it like kind of acoustically?
I can sing you like one verse of a song.
But do you want to take the guitar with you?
Yeah, I have to like back it up with something because
it would be really cool.
I can't like sing and play the blues harp. Blues harp is like more of a because I really want to hear some of like your stuff. It's more of a thing. I think you already heard it at our last concert.
I want to hear it again.
When I lie awake on my pillow, praying for a vision or a dream, my heart aches and I'm lonely. Things can be as bad as they seem. When I'm lost in the darkness, your face is all that I can see. When I'm looking for the answers, I pray that angel come to me. I said, well, baby, angel, come to me.
Lovely. I love that. Very beautiful.
That's going to be on our new EP.
Oh my God.
But it's an old tune. I wrote it a long time ago.
I really like the lyrics.
Yeah, I was in a really bad place that time.
Yeah, but it makes really powerful lyrics and transporting.
Thank you.
I liked it. I was imagining you on your pillow. It's a good image.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep at that time. I couldn't sleep at all. It's like the only way I could sleep is like smoke like a bunch of joints and get yourself wasted, and that's not really sleeping, to be exact. So,
but you wrote the song, and then did writing it and singing it help you?
Yeah, I did. Of course, it helps every time. Every time you write something, it helps you to to process the whole thing, to like be done with it, or just like But still, when I play it and sing it, I still feel it, because I think if I wouldn't feel it when I played it, it wouldn't be as good.
No, of course not.
I mean, people would like realize it's not like, yeah.
Yeah. They'd be like, he's not a real blues man.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's still interesting because, when you write songs and you feel them a lot in the moment and then time passes, usually when you sing them again, you can't really get back to that same feeling.
That's kind of true, but for me personally, I mean, the power, the emotion maybe, lets off a little bit after time, but it's still there, and you just got to learn to dig it up, because it's always somewhere in here. And that's something that I don't know. I also had those moments where when I was playing those songs, I was like, why am I even playing this? So I can't relate to that anymore. And then I learned, I don't know how, it just came naturally. I learned how to, dig it up, because it's there. It's there. You just got to find it again, and maybe put it in some different context, because maybe you have something similar happening right now, which is like, I don't know, and just put it in that kind of context, and then you can harvest that emotion that you're feeling right now about some different thing maybe, but you're singing an old song.
Okay.
So it's kind of a...
It's always got a new
mix.
meaning.
Yeah. I mean, when I played this song, if I don't know, I always try to think of something that's like really is bothering me at the moment.
Yeah.
And making me feel bad. And you can always, kind of relate with the lyrics, and if not, it doesn't matter. You just put it into music, just the way you sing, the notes you hit, the blue notes. Try to interpret it that way.
And wow, really nice explanation. So I'm starting to understand your relationship with blues and your relationship with your songwriting. It's really interesting. Is there specifically something? Did you study blues, and did you really understand the musicality behind it? Like, why do the blue notes make you feel a certain way, or do you just feel it and you didn't actually study?
I actually more kind of feel it. Of course, I try to, because I had it in school and everything, so I know the music theory and all that stuff, but that was never the drive behind the music. The drive, for me, is like what I feel.
Exactly.
Like, so I just sing and play it as I feel it. I don't need, for example, I don't use any notes when we're playing in the band, or when I'm writing new music. I just record.
Yeah.
I don't write it down, but I just write down lyrics, obviously. But as far as the music goes, I'm recording.
Oh.
And
Wow.
yeah, because it's a lot easier for me than right. I know how to write
That's quite
notes and everything, but it's easier for me to just record because sometimes stuff just comes out flowing out of you like a waterfall.
Yeah.
And as soon as you pick up a piece of paper and want to write it down, it's all gone.
Yeah, that's true.
And the only way I could try and solve that problem is just by recording.
Okay. I can't wait to listen. I'll share it in my podcast description.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, of course. Okay. And so you also explained a bit how you use music as a tool in your life. Like you did talk about that. You talked about how it helps you dig out feelings and process things.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that we didn't discuss that you feel like music holds that place in your life, or it's enabled you to, you creating these shows in Zurich and you make people so happy? Like, how are you sharing music with your fans?
I don't know. It's like for me, it's basically a meaning of life, actually. Because if you're not living it, I don't know. For me, it's like I have to, because I don't earn that much money off of it. You have to really, it has to be a really huge passion for somebody to do something like that, So it's just a way of life, actually. I like being on stage. I like performing. I like when people come to our shows and enjoy it and are dancing and everything. That gives me joy, and it makes me happy.
Yeah.
So I mean, of course, we got to earn some money, but at the end of the day, it's not the money why we do it. It's the passion.
So you're sharing this passion in Zurich with your public.
And in Zagreb, yeah.
And in Zagreb.
Yeah.
Are those the two main places where you perform?
Yeah. Mostly in Zurich and Zagreb, because I spent half a year in Zagreb.
Really?
And yeah.
Every year?
Every year. Like almost like 5 months or something.
Wow. And so you must be the blues scene there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the scene. Yeah, of course, people know me, and I'm also at the local jams, and people respect me and invite me up on stage, or even when some bands are playing, if they want to have a blues harmonica playing with them, they call me up. I'm glad to.
Yeah, I would call you up as well. But speaking of jams and speaking of harmonicas, I think we should call up Nick to the stage, because I think it's time for our jam.
Oh yeah, sure, let's do it.
And we're currently in Nick's home studio, as if you didn't know before.
Yeah.
So it's a
nice studio.
We have 2 pianos.
I hope they don't steal his music.
Coming round the bend. is long.
Nick, I said that's a long train. You're gonna catch it or you're gonna lose it.
See my train coming, ha, and now she's gone.
She's gone, she's gone, she's gone, she's gone, she's gone. And what are you gonna do now? She's gone, and she ain't coming back no more. She's left town before, but she always came back for more. And she always left town, but you know that she would always come back down to town. But this time she ain't coming around. What are you gonna do without your pretty little girl named Sue?
Say I got a pretty little girl named Sue. Say the pretty little girl. Ooh, named Sue.
She's probably gone far to another town. And she won't come back no more. She won't come back no more. She forgot you. She left you down in the ground. Won't come back to town. Won't be coming around. She won't be coming around.
Nice.
Yeah, that was fun.
Thanks a lot. All right.
We made up a whole narrative.
We sure did.
Beautiful.
Girl named Sue.
See, that's what it's all about.
It is, yeah. I was trying to be split. I was like,
You're getting there.
yeah. Hey, thank you so much, Dan. That was amazing. Thank you, Nick, for the space, which is actually called Studio Zurich. If you look it up and you want to produce some music, I'll share his details down in the description. So, Dan, honestly, once again, you blew our socks off.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the coffee.
You're welcome. I hope you manage to sleep, and if you don't, you'll probably
I'm
write an
sleeping like a
amazing
baby.
song again.
Yeah, I will.
And thank you so much again for coming to the podcast.
Thank you.